We're going to come right up to standing. So you can take a seat. If props you may need would just be probably a block or two. Maybe a strap, probably not. Once you're in standing, you can just come towards the front edge of your mat. We're going to do some poses that will get our blood flowing first, warm up our joints and muscles, and then move into some hip openers and stretch the side body out a little bit. We'll become present with this moment by first just grounding through the feet. To relax the toes. Feeling energy move up through the legs as you stabilize and level out your pelvis. Lengthen the spine as you open the heart and drop the shoulders away from the ears. Chin is parallel to the earth. Gaze is softly forward. Crown of the head reaching to the sky. You can face the palms forward. Energy moving out to the ends of the fingertips. You just draw in the power, sun, light, warmth. Imagine it filling your heart with a sense of joyful energy, happiness. Begin to feel your breath moving evenly and smoothly. In and out. If you'd like to set an intention for today's class, perhaps it is something related to the sun or light or energy. And to seal that intention, you can bring the palms together at heart center and gently draw the chin in and down. Lifting the head back to neutral and releasing the arms down. I'm going to turn and face you. You don't need to turn. We're going to inhale and reach both arms up. Can't see it, but I've got everything interlaced except my index fingers as I powerfully lengthen through the fingertips, but then draw the shoulders back down, drop the tailbone toward the floor. Squeeze the legs. Release here for a moment. Inhale one more time as you lengthen. And as you exhale, we're going to reach right. So powerful reach. The arms are helping here so that you're not dumping onto that side, but big powerful reach to the arms. Biceps are squeezing the ears. Continuing to breathe. As you inhale, come back to center. And exhale, powerfully reaching to the left. And some space between the rib cage and pelvis on your right side. Inhale will bring you back to center. And as you exhale, you can take the fists to your low back. I'll turn around so you can see. Or the palms, fingers facing down. Elbows drawn in. Inhale, lifting the heart center, maybe the gaze slightly. And as you exhale, maybe you move into a very slight standing back bend. Opening up that front body. Use the hands or fists as you inhale to come back up to neutral position. And exhale, release the arms down by your side. Inhale, bring the arms up towards the sky. And then exhale, open them to the side, bend the knees, and hinge at the hips. So an aligned spine, belly drawn in as you come forward into a very soft forward bend. So you can relax the head, keep the knees soft. And if you feel like you need a little more support, you can take the feet hip width apart. You may enjoy lifting one heel at a time, just kind of pedaling out here. Enjoy the blood flow to your brain, your eyes. And if you're pedaling the feet, go ahead and release the heels back down to the mat. Take an inhale into a halfway lift on fingertips or even fingers on the shins. Exhale, place both hands down by bending both knees and step back 1 foot at a time. full plank or modified plank. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, belly drawing in. Make a diagonal from head to knee creases. And we're not going to go all the way to the earth. Just draw those elbows in close to your side, like tricep push-up. We're going to go down just a little bit, make sure that you're going to be able to come back up. Press through the fingertips, return to straight elbows. We'll do a few more of those. So elbows in, lowering, pressing up, lower, press up, lower. If this time you'd like to hold it, you can. You don't have to. For a full breath in and out. And again, press your fingertips as you come back up. Nice. And let's come to regular hands and knees now. So you may need to draw the fingertips back a bit so that wrists are under shoulders. Start moving through a few cat-cows with your own breath. Just waking up the spine a little bit here. After a few, you can choose to maybe go side to side. Or you can go in circles, kind of moving organically, whatever feels good to wake up some of these joints through the spine, shoulders, hips. And then once more, making your way back to a neutral position, moving from here into puppy dog. So hips will stay high, toes tucked under to stretch the toes, and begin walking the hands forward. Depending on your shoulders, the hands may stay shoulder width apart. For more comfort, you may need to go wider. But move slowly as you just work with your breath, sinking down on your exhale. Inhale, maybe come out of it a bit. And then exhale, chin and chest a little closer to the mat. We'll do this a few times. If you feel any strain in the back of your neck, you could tuck the chin and work more towards forehead, leading to the mat. So your choice. After a few rounds up and down, you can come into a holding position in your expression of puppy dog. Enjoy the stretch, the shoulders, the chest, maybe the belly, and the hips. Press through those fingertips as you bring the chest away from the floor and walk the hands back in underneath the shoulders. Toes are still tucked under as we move into a modified downward facing dog now. So lift the knees a bit, keep the belly drawn in, and then start to shift the hips up and back. Generous bend in the knees, heels are going to stay off the mat as we focus on lengthening the spine, shaking out our head, relaxing shoulders. And then if you'd like to here, you can pedal out, lowering one heel at a time, waking up the ankle joints and the knee joints. Okay. Static downward facing dog for 2 rounds of breath. Exhale everything out. Inhale, shift your weight forward into a full plank or modified plank. And then exhale, release yourself all the way down to your mat. Untuck the toes now and press into the tops of the feet, the length of your legs. Draw the front of the shoulders away from the earth, elbows in towards each other. Next, inhale, keep the belly down, just lift the head and chest using those powerful back muscles. And maybe test that you're not over pressing by lifting the hands. See if you stay where you are. Keep some length in the back of the neck and hold it here and breathe. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, chin back to the mat. Inhale, lift the head and chest just like you did. You can press more through the hands and lift left leg off the mat. But I'm not rocking, so it's not going to go very high. Knee is straight. Release down. Right leg up. Release down. You can go one more time on each side or lift both legs up and hold. And then everything down. Press through the hands as you come up into hands and knees. And we'll move into a modified child's pose. So depending on how stiff your knees are, you may not want to go all the way down, but big toes come together. Take the knees a little wider than hip and start to settle the hips back and down. Arms can stay extended forward or fold at the elbows and rest your forehead on your knees. Feel free to bring the hips all the way down again. Just a reminder, I have that knee injury, so I'm going to be modifying things and not go as deeply as I may otherwise. Reaching the fingertips back out in front if they're not already. Press through them, come up, realign, downward facing dog. As you inhale, bring the feet forward between the hands to a halfway lift. Exhale, generous forward fold, soften the knees. Inhale, drop the hips a bit so you can safely align the spine, come all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Interlace the fingers like we did before, and exhale, reach right. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, reach left. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, hands behind you, and slight lifting of chest into a back bend. Inhale, use the abs to come back up to neutral. And exhale, take the hands behind you. Inhale, we're going to sweep the arms up by the ears. And exhale, just sweep them back. Hold the pinkies high towards the sky. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sweep them back, palms squeezing towards each other. One more time, inhale, reach up. This time, as you exhale, reach back. See if you can interlace the fingers. Straighten the elbows, pinkies toward the sky. Shoulders down from ears. For better balance, you can take the feet hip width apart. We'll be going into a forward bend. But first, inhale, lift the arms, maybe the chest a bit. And then as you exhale, soften the knees if you'd like to keep that safe, solid, aligned spine coming forward. Arms come overhead. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Again, letting gravity help you stretch through those shoulders and bring more fresh blood to your brain and eyes. Wiggle the toes and relax them back to the mat. Inhale, release the fingertips down by the toes or even up to the shins for a halfway lift. Exhale, hands meet the mat, step both feet back. And you can lower to or towards the floor. Untuck the toes, inhale into cobra. You can use the hands a little bit, just careful not to push too high. Elbows drawn in. And then exhale, tuck the toes up underneath. And move into your expression of downward facing dog or puppy dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up high if you're in downward dog. If you're in puppy dog, you can do this from hands and knees. Exhale, bring the knee towards the chest, chin towards the knee. So either way is fine. Inhale, lifting the right leg. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, knee to chin. One more time, inhale, reach up. Hold it there for a moment. And this time, as you exhale, bring it in towards your chest and then place it between the hands. So again, that back knee can be up or down. If your knee is up, make sure it's straight and press back through that left heel. You check alignment of knee over ankle. Hands can come up to heart. Just stabilize here. Breathing into that right hip. We're stretching the glute. We're also getting a nice stretch through the left hip flexor. Again, for more stability, knee could be down. I'll demonstrate that way first. So I'm going to sweep the arms down. Inhale, reach up, maybe a slight arch. And exhale, you can lean forward, arms come behind you. Just gonna do that one more time, knee up or down. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold forward, chest towards the thigh. Inhale, hands to heart. And exhale, place the hands by the foot and step back to downward dog. Repeating on the left side. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, knee to chest. Again, this can be hands and knees, of course. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, knee to chest. And one more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, knee to chest first. And use that core to bring the foot forward. So if it lands back here, just take your hand and bring it up. Knee over ankle. Press through that back heel if the knee is up. Place the knee on the mat. When you feel stable and ready, bring the hands up to heart. Release the hands down. Inhale, with fingertips toward the sky. Maybe slight gaze up. Exhale, body forward, arms high behind you. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, back. Inhale, up. Exhale, hands to heart. Back to the mat. Downward facing dog. If you need a deeper rest, you can always lower the knees and rest there or in child's pose. You can stay just like you are for a little bit of a side body stretch. Start to turn your feet, your toes toward the left side of your mat. And the hips are going to kind of go that way too. You might feel a stretch along the left side. Come back to center and twist the other way. You can do that one or two more times each side. If you're enjoying it, just hold it on one side for a couple of breaths. And then make your way back to a regular downward facing dog. Inhale, both feet forward for a halfway lift. Exhale into a full forward fold. Inhale, safely make your way all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands to heart. So I'm going to add a little bit into our sun salutations. This time as a start, you can try crossing your right foot in front of your left. And then you can look down, get all 10 toes facing the same direction toward that short end of your mat. If you feel a little unstable, you can uncross or use a wall nearby, chair nearby. We'll do our forward fold from here. So we'll inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, arms to the side. Again, you may need to soften the knees to protect the spine as you come forward. You could also have your blocks nearby and place the hands there as you relax the head and neck or fingertips to the floor. You're probably going to feel a slightly different sensation in this version of a forward bend along kind of the IT bend on your left leg if your right foot is in front. So just hold here and breathe into that stretch. Soften the knees a bit. You can use that block to help you get that aligned spine first so you can engage the core and safely come all the way up. Uncross, and then switch to the other side. The left leg in front, get the toes lined up, kind of even in terms of distance from the front of the mat, and also all 10 forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Relax the back of the neck, your face, your jaw. Notice if this side feels different. Without judging, just noticing. Preparing to come up, soften the knees a bit, come to the fingertips or your block, align spine, squeeze those back muscles to bring you safely up. Hands to heart, uncross the feet, back to Tadasana. If you have a block and you think you may want to use it, you can move it over to the side, it's a little bit more accessible shortly. We'll play with the sun salutation from here, reaching up on your inhale. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take both feet back. Hold the plank. We're going to simply go from here directly into downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up high to the sky. Bring the foot forward between the hands. Come to your fingertips and spin that back heel in and down. Going to work to have a heel to arch alignment. We're in a moment going to make our way to warrior two. So powerful pressing through both feet, not just the front, as you sweep the left arm up. And then it's going to pull you up. So imagine someone actually holding your left hand and helping you lift your torso up until the shoulders are stacked over hips and the right knee and toes are shoulder edge of your mat. So if you don't have a mirror, just kind of tune in. Sometimes I see people here. So you really want to make sure you shift your ribcage back, shoulders over hips, knee over ankle, back leg straight, arms extended, shoulders relaxed. Warrior two. And gaze over those right fingertips. Just hold here and breathe. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, we're going to bend the right elbow and bring the forearm to the thigh and sweep the left arm over so the biceps near your ears. Trying to create this nice, strong and straight line from left fingertips to left ankle. Gaze could be down, could be towards your device, your computer or phone, or you tuck the chin and rotate. So like out towards the fingertips. Some of you may take that right hand to the mat. Just make sure you keep the left shoulder open. Reach the left hand back up to the sky and allow it to pull you back briefly up to warrior B. We're going to rotate towards the front edge of the mat. Bring the hands down. Return to downward dog. We're going to be doing the same thing on the left side. So you may be facing, the back of your mat as I will be, and you may not see, but I'll lead you through my voice, so you should be okay. Left leg high. Bring that foot forward between your hands. Spin the right back heel in and down, and press through the outer blade of that foot. Right heel lined up with back arch. Come up to fingertips. Reach the right hand to the sky and imagine someone pulling your right arm up, bringing your torso up so that shoulders are stacked over hips, left knee stacked over ankle, and arms out to the side in warrior two, warrior B. You can gaze over the left fingertips, back knee straight, both feet pressing evenly. Take one more inhale there. As you exhale, bend the left elbow and bring the left forearm to your left thigh. Bring the right hand first to the sky and then over near your ear with the palm facing the earth. Both shoulders away from the ears. Careful with your gaze. Keep pressing through that right foot. Right hand reaches to the sky as you pull yourself up briefly back to warrior two. Gonna windmill the arms toward that front foot to spin on the back foot and step back to downward dog. Inhale again, right leg high to the sky. Exhale, step that foot forward between the hands. This time we're gonna bring both hands to the inside of that right foot and walk the hands around as you spin the feet around to face the long edge of your mat. You may want to take the feet a little wider as you bring the heels wider than toes like we did yesterday. Hands should certainly be on your block. Keeping the knees straight and move into a forward fold. Hands and block could move back so they're more in line with your feet. And as you press through the hands, allow the crown of your head to work towards the mat. You're working against gravity to keep the shoulders away from the ears. The elbows are in line with wrists and shoulders. Muscles above the knees are working to keep the knees as straight as is comfortable for you. As you inhale, start to bring the head away from the floor and walk the hands forward under the shoulders. Heel toe in once or twice to now have the heels in more than the toes and start dropping the hips. Hands can continue to walk in and adjust as needed. Make sure the knees are over the toes, not wavering in, okay? Give you that alignment. And then press through the heels, bring the hands up to heart. And breathe into this nice strengthening squat. As you inhale, straighten the knees, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, palms forward into cactus arms, bending the knees, keeping them wide. Inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the arms up. Exhale, bend the elbows, squeeze the shoulder blades close, knees stay wide. Good. Hands back to the waist. Turn the heels out slightly and hinge at the hips, knees are still bent forward. Use that block. We're going to start straightening the left knee and walking our hands or block over towards the right foot. If you need to, take that foot wider, outer edge parallel to the mat. Hips are back. So move the other way. Hips are back. Elbows keeping that knee where it needs to be over the toes. Nice stretch in the left thigh. Stay right here, or you can spin those left toes to the sky, sink a little lower, hands to heart for moment 55 plus. Hands back to mat, press through them, just take that right knee straight again. Left foot fully planted. You start bending into the left knee, walking the hands over to the left foot. Hips are back. Knee, even here, trying to get it not past the toes as you look. So not way out there with the heel up, heel down, knee back. Totally fine if you're up here, hands on a chair. For those that want to move into that work, the other challenging option you can, I'll play it safe on this side. Still breathing. And then if it's not already, go ahead and turn your right foot flat, hands back to the mat, walk yourself back to center, and then back around. So all toes and fingers are facing the front of your mat. Release the back knee to the mat. Right hand inside the right knee. Right foot over just slightly. And then I'm going to start kind of bending the elbows. Maybe you come to forearms, maybe you don't. Relax the back of your neck. And just notice. Lift the head up, come back to the hands. Take your right hand to the inside of the right knee and just gently press it out. You can roll to the outer blade of that right foot. Option of twisting to look behind you. Foot comes flat. Bring the foot back in slightly. Next step is to lift that back foot off the mat. And with your right hand, reach back. See if you can get the top of that foot. And then shift your hips forward and down. If you cannot get the foot, that's okay. Just work those hamstrings and hold it there. That's good strengthening for your hamstrings. Should feel a pretty good stretch in your left quadricep muscles, all those muscles in the front top of your thigh. And now release that foot down. Hands on the mat. Lift the back knee, downward facing dog. Time for the left side. So left leg up, and then the foot forward. Bring the back knee down, and bring the hands to the inside of the foot. Walk the foot over slightly, and begin bending your elbows to see if the forearms want to come to the mat or to your block or a bolster. Lift your head, hands on the mat. Move your left hand to the inside of your left knee and gently press that knee open, roll to the outer blade of your left foot. You could look back. And then foot planted. And down. Bend your right knee to lift the foot off the mat. You need to hold here, there, or reach back with your left hand to find the top of the foot. Shift your hips down and forward to maximize this stretch. Heel could come closer to your glutes if you need it. Again, keep some space between ears and shoulders. Just close your eyes if you'd like. And let the warmth of your breath melt away tightness. Releasing the foot down, hands back to the mat. And then lift that back knee. Gonna walk it in. And have the feet about mat width apart, angling the toes slightly out. I'm gonna start dropping the hips, elbows on the inside. You could use your block and find your way to that block, or without the block, and hands at heart center in Savasana. And then round your spine, your head, drop it forward, hold the opposite elbow and just breathe into your spine, your back, your muscles. Then make your way all the way down to the mat, moving the blocks out of the way. I'll turn it and face you and stay how you are. So find the sit bones and actually keep both knees bent, feet on the mat. This is a seated expression of figure 4 pose or a modified version of half pigeon pose that you can always choose instead of that. And we're going to begin with the right foot. So we'll squeeze that right knee into the chest and then start the rotation at the hip as you place the ankle on the left thigh. Hands can be behind you, not only to help you with balance, but to help press you up into a lengthened torso, lengthened spine. Left foot could be further away, or you can walk it in to feel a deeper stretch. What you don't want to do, I'm going to turn it like this. You don't want to be here in a rounded spine. You're going to lose the benefit of the stretch through the glutes. So hands can help you press the chest up and forward. Keep that right ankle bent. And you can even press through the fists to get a little higher. Some of you may prefer to take hold of the foot and place the foot at your bicep, outer blade at your elbow crease. Bend the arm, take the other arm around it, interlace. And then the left foot can slide down. Even here, the leverage of your hands can help to bring your chest up and forward to get the stretch where you want to. You can rock your baby. Check on the ankle. You don't want it sickling and rounding. You want to press it solid. Bent, that'll protect your knee. So you can release the hands back to the mat if they were holding your foot and leg. And then everyone uncross that side. And we'll switch to the other side. So remember, bring the knee in close first before you rotate. Ankle is bent. And then place it on the right thigh. Take a moment to kind of see where you want to start with that right foot. And then hands or fists behind you. Get that long spine, shoulders down. Stay right where you are, or switch to holding the left leg with your hands and extend the right leg forward. You can kind of play with that position of how far across, high or low, to get it right where you want it for that juicy stretch. So, coming back, uncrossing, straighten the legs. Holland Dandasana for a moment, and just to give the little hip flexor a stretch, take the hands behind you, fingers pointing same towards your legs, bend the knees hip width apart, and just lift the hips up into tabletop for a moment. And release that down. Extend the legs out. Bend the right knee, cross it over the left, and then walk the toes back, the whole foot back actually, allowing the knee to rest on top of your left thigh. Now, some of you can bend this left knee and bring that foot around. I can't do it on this side, I'll show you on the other. So if you know what I'm talking about, feel free to go there. And we'll begin by just focusing on the hips. So you can come forward for a moment just to see what it's going to be like. And maybe you just want to stay with the hips today. But if you want to incorporate the arms in this pose, then go ahead and come back up. Take your right arm up and bend at the elbow. Take the left arm behind and see if you can make that connection. Bringing the right elbow behind your head. So now we're kind of incorporating the shoulders with this. You can stay right there, pressing the head into the arm, or you can fold forward. If you're folding forward, go ahead and come back up and release the arms back to the knee. And we're going to switch sides. So uncross, bring the left knee in and cross it over. I can show you on this side. So the more challenging option, you got to be super careful with your knee. Why I didn't do this on the other side. You shift over to the hip and bend that knee to bring the heel around, but outside your hip. So I'm still got my sit bone down on the mat on both sides. And then I walk this foot over to rest. Top knee on top of bottom as close as you can get. Again, bottom leg could stay straight like the other side I did. Okay. So choices are to just focus on your hips, and you can fold forward to get more intensity in that stretch, or incorporate the shoulders. So this time the left arm will come up and the right arm will go behind. For me, I have to bring the right arm over first and shove my hand up my spine and then reach over and back. A strap obviously could help with this, or a scarf, belt. Don't let your elbow push your head forward, try to keep chin lifted. And again, you can stay here or fold forward. Deep, full breaths, dissolving tension and tightness. Inhale, come up. And if you have the arms, release the arms back to your knee for a moment. And then uncross the feet. Good. One final seated pose. Baddha Konasana, I'm going to do kind of the variation on that. I'm going to keep my feet farther away and open the knees with the soles together, which you can also do. And round the spine, or traditional Baddha Konasana would be to walk the heels in super close and allow the knees to open there with the soles of the feet together. You can certainly prop the knees up, and with this one, the hinge is going to be at the hips with an aligned spine for the first few breaths before rounding, okay? So heels can be in close. You'll feel the stretches slightly differently, or out into more of a diamond. And come forward rounding. I like to scoop my hands under. Okay, so your choice of that forward fold and your expression of Baddha Konasana. And just relax and breathe into it. Close your eyes and be here for about 5 to 7 breaths. Next breath in, begin to lift your torso away from the floor. Push the knees back together. And we're going to be coming down onto our back. So if you need any props for your Savasana, you can have them nearby. Come down onto your back. You can certainly just walk yourself down, but if you want to incorporate a little abs, follow along with me. Not going all the way down the first time, but we're going to draw the belly in, so kind of like you're scooping a scoop of ice cream around the back. And come down a little bit, knowing that you've got to come back up. And then inhale back up. We'll do that again, going down. And coming back up. This time we'll go down, try to keep the same pace all the way down, squeeze the thighs together. Nice. Once you're all the way down, you can do that nice long stretch, straightening the legs, reaching the arms behind you, squeezing the muscles as you make yourself as long as you can. And then hug the knees into your chest, forehead to knees. Head back down, figure four stretch in this position. So left foot came down, right knee bent, open it out, ankle bent, right arm between the thighs, make that connection, and bring the left knee into your chest. If you want to circle out the left ankle, move the toes, head and shoulders relaxed on the mat. Release the thigh, bring the foot down. Cross the right foot all the way over, so thigh on thigh. And do a spinal twist, so open the arms to the side, walk the heel in close. I like to lift the hips and scoot them to the right first, and then allow the knees to go over to the left as I gaze to the right. I also like to lift that left shoulder blade and slide it to the left, allowing my right shoulder blade to melt down into the earth a little better, a little more deeply. Full deep breaths. Inhale your gaze and your knees back up. Realign the hips, uncross. Figure four on the other side. So left knee in, open the knee, ankle over thigh. Left arm threads between the thighs. And your right foot comes off the mat and you make the connection behind the right thigh. I like to use my left elbow to keep the left knee wide and away from me as I hug and pull the right knee gently in. Again, relaxing through the shoulders, the face, the head is on the mat. Optionally moving around that right ankle and those toes. Hips store a lot of emotional stress. So hopefully today's session is kind of helping you work through some things, feel a little more, your emotional intelligence quotient feel a little higher. It brought up some things for you and you're not ready for it. You can come back to the pose. Great way to release some emotions in these hip stretches. You're just becoming aware. All right, foot comes to the mat, side crosses on over, arms out to the side. This time, scoot the hips over to the left a bit as the knees go to the right. As you look to the left, you can scoot the right shoulder blade to the right, and then melt the shoulder blades to the earth. Let gravity bring the knees closer to the earth. Feel free to close your eyes. And just notice sensations, temperature, emotions. Bring the knees and gaze back to center. Realign the hips and uncross. Bring the arms in closer, but still away from your body with the palms up. And lengthen the lower back as well as the neck. For Savasana, our final relaxation pose, you can either take the feet wide and rest the knees against one another. Extend them out with knees on a bolster or completely resting on the mat. Feet about as wide as your mat and the feet rolling out to the side. As done yesterday, I will lead you into Savasana, and then you can mute me. Let's say in Savasana, an optimal time is about 10 minutes, so you could set a timer. But for those that have questions and would like to do their Savasana later, I'll lead you out of Savasana rather quickly and open up for questions. So to settle your body into this deep relaxation pose, just imagine your body resting on warm sand. With the shape of the sand supporting every curve of your body under the knees, under the low back. Make some sand weight down the palms of your hands as the fingers slightly curl. Feel the warmth of the sand under your upper back, supporting your neck. Feel the warm sun helping to melt away any remaining tension. As you surrender to the support, the warm sand, the warm sun, and the sound of the waves in the background. Your breath is just a natural flow in and out through the nose. And see when your mind wanders, if you can just bring it back to this little personal retreat on the beach. Hearing the waves on the warmth of the sand. Learning to be comfortable with stillness. Learning to detach from outside thoughts. Sun is warming your skin. Sand is massaging your muscles. Sound of the ocean is synchronizing with the rhythm of your breath. You can mute me now, or come out of Savasana for questions and start wiggling fingers and toes, turning the head side to side. Noticing the change in the state of your mind as you start bending the knees and walking the feet in. Rolling over onto one side, resting your head on your bent arm. Using the other hand to help press you back to a seated position. And if you have